What is good, everybody? What is going on? It is the Joe Digital. I am here. I am here over by Lauderhill Park. You'll already know where this is at if you are in Sunrise, Lauderhill, that particular area right here. I'm here grounded and getting some time in nature before it rains a little bit later. And one thing I want to talk about is there's a few things actually, and one of them is not being afraid to create and accept change. All right, if this is you, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe. All right, not being afraid to change, not being afraid to make decisions that cause you to change, not being afraid of being submissive to change is a superpower. It is the ability to take control of your life at any given moment and make the decisions that are needed so that you can make the changes that are needed. This is a very important step to experiencing personal evolution and putting yourself in positions where you can see yourself thrive and grow and evolve. All right, hit that like button. Being able to change your life, being able to create change in your life, it puts you in a position where you become the catalyst, okay? You become the very thing that is needed to create the change needed so that you can be on your highest timeline. And I want to say that without you acknowledging your consciousness and living in your consciousness in your right now, you wouldn't be nearly as close as you are. But because you are very present, you are able to see what things need to be changed. All right, this is a season of change. This season right here, this is a very timeless video. So when you see this, just know that when I say season, it doesn't mean summer, spring, fall, or winter. This may just be a bridge that you built to go from what you previously experienced to what you are experiencing. And I just want to say that by you being conscious of the things that are no longer serving you, you are able to make the changes that are needed so that you can embody the happiness and the joy that comes with making the decisions needed to change. All right. It can just be a change of habit. It can be a change of thinking. It can be a change of doing, you know. Those, of course, they fall under a change of habit. But as I said earlier, so much as you are conscious and so much as you are living in the right now, you can see that you are constantly making changes to operate as your highest version daily. All right. And for some of us, it is momentarily. All right. We may make several changes during one day. So I just want to encourage you that when you have the idea to change, when you have the thought that you need to make changes, it is very important to sit with your visions, sit with your thoughts, and be very courageous when choosing which decisions you want to do. And just know that there is no wrong decision, okay? We are born to experience life. We are born to experience all aspects of what it is to be a spiritual being, having a human experience. And once you eliminate fear out of the equation, you have more of a capacity to bring in love, unconditional love into your life, into your experience. And I just want to say, don't allow anyone or anything to make you feel like you're not allowed to change your mind, your spirit, or what's in your heart so that you can be better. All right. A lot of us, maybe we're around a lot of people, or maybe we're around a lot of decision. Maybe the decisions that we make have to be, maybe they may affect a lot of people, or maybe we're around a lot of people, or maybe you're not. But just know that when you are doing what you have to do for yourself, there cannot be any love. There should not be any love. Love, fear. There cannot be any fear. There should not be any fear. There should only be love. All right. And like I said earlier, the the fear is not an option. All right, because really, a lot of us, we have gotten to a point where we are so far on our journey, we already recognize that we cannot go back. And for a lot of us, there is no going back. And that is the beautiful blessing of making decisions to make your life better, is you are the catalyst of change. You are creating the change even before you make the decision to. And your thoughts create your reality. Your experiences create your perspective. And when you walk in true authenticity and your heart is pure, I guarantee you that you will make all of the possible decisions that you can make to create a life where you are living in true abundance and being happy, feeling fulfilled, and doing your heart's desire. I am here in the heart of nature again. Water over there. I haven't filmed over here in a while. It's probably been almost a year since I filmed over here. And this is where, wow, I spent a lot of time in this area. You know, before my mom moved, she used to live over there. Yeah, over there. And, you know, I used to see this area every day. And this is the area where I would come to and just really gather my thoughts and just walk through this sports park here over here in Lauderhill. And I would really just think about my life and think about what can I do to change my reality and create something dynamic where I can help other people, inspire other people, motivate other people, because I felt so inspired. And, you know, I just feel like this is a full circle moment because I had no idea I was even going to be on this side of town, and I just felt called to come over here and film, you know. Of course, you already know shoes are off. You already know what time it is with that. And I just remember what in my early in my journey walking these trails and these pathways. I mean, I see they're doing a lot of work over here now, but that used to be a pathway. A lot of cars used to park over there. People used to jog, and I remember just like walking, and like my mom, she would be her porch was right over there in the front, so she would always see me, and she would say, I thought I saw you. And she'd be like, what were you over there doing? You was just over there walking back and forth. And I would always say to her, I would always express that, I'm just, as one of the old hip hop songs would say, I'm just thinking of a master plan. Of course, it's Rakim, I can't forget that. But, I'll be thinking of something masterful, something, an idea that can help people, an idea of where I can be a catalyst for change that can inspire other people. And I had no idea then that this would be my journey, which is creating content here on YouTube. And I just wanted to say that, even though I'm reminiscing a little bit about my journey, the reason why I'm bringing up that aspect of my journey is I was so unsure that I even had permission, right? Which is crazy, because you should never have permission to want to do something, but that's the difference between then and now. Is then I thought I needed to run my ideas past 4 people, 5 people, 10 people in order to get the okay, in order for things to be okay, because everything was very aesthetic, everything was very, I wanted to be cool, I wanted to look cool, I wanted things to, you know what I mean? I wanted to be chill, and I realized that back then a lot of my ideas never manifested because I was waiting to get in touch with 4 people, 5 people, 6 people, and and then weigh it on the scales with them, and then it would, sometime it would be a no, or sometime it would be like, oh well, I don't know, and that's really not the idea of how it feels when you put your life in the fast lane. When you put your life in the fast lane, it's just you, the driver, and you go and do what you feel is in your heart and in your mind, and you do what your heart desires, and you let your mind give you the vision, and you let your heart manifest it from spiritual into reality. And I didn't know that back then, and I'm very happy to be here as I look at that area over there, as I look at these different areas, and I just think of that version of myself, and I'm very grateful, because I never have a feeling of a what if, like, I feel like everything is in divine plan, and I feel like I had to experience that then, and I have to experience this now. And this is why I'm bringing to you all the message about change. And regardless of where you are on your journey, never be afraid to just change, and if you have a community of people that really genuinely care, then by all means definitely run it past them. But if you are racing against what we feel time is, because time time is not linear, time is a construct, but if you feel like you want to be looked at as a certain way, here's the time to say that you are already successful, you are already a champion, you are already where you need to be, because all of the power, all of the energy, all of your desire, all of your willpower, everything is already within you. And it is within you. It was within you since you were born, since before you were born, since you made a decision to come here from the 5th dimension down to the 3rd dimension and be a spiritual being having a human experience. Your purpose was given to you in the angelic realm before you became physical. So This is why we are here on earth, so that we can remember meaning putting all the pieces back together to the puzzle, which is us. And so I'm just here, and I'm amazed at, you know, my previous journey, and I'm amazed at my current journey. And if I was to do it all over again, I'm gonna be honest with you, I would do it all the same. I would do everything the same again. I would have all the same experiences again. Even the downfalls and the things that I went through that forced me to change, that forced me to make the decision to be better and do better. When the opportunities came for me to grow up and be a man, I made the decisions to handle my business and do what I had to do, and not be as a child. Hey, us real men, we know what's going on with that. Sometimes the opportunity knocks, and it's up to us whether we open the door or not. And I got that. Actually, I got that quote from Steve Harvey. I was watching Steve Harvey once, and he said that. He said, every so often we get an opportunity to be a man, but it's up to us if we open the door. And it was, of course, when you get truthful, when you get hit with the truth, you know, as Ralph Smart would say, the truth will piss you off, but it'll also set you free, right? And I was like, not at a point where I needed to hear that at that point, but I know I needed to hear it, but I did not feel as if I needed to hear it. And when I heard it, I was like, oh. So I was like, man, I know it's been knocking. I was like, but I guess when it knocks again, I got to start just seeing what they talking about. And so, I'm very happy that I was able to elevate and be where I'm at now, if anything, consciously, if not anything else, consciously. And I'm very happy to get you all this message. All right, I know it's a little bit long, but in closing, I just want to say, when you are on your purpose, when you are on your journey, whatever resistance you are feeling, whatever happiness you are not yet experiencing, it comes when you make that decision to do what you got to do. When you make the decision to do what you got to do, that's when the overflow is going to happen. That's when the happiness is going to happen. And I was watching a video earlier, and it was a gentleman, AMS. He was saying something about a lot of times you really don't. A lot of times you really experience the true happiness when you have a hobby or a passion or something that you do, because there's a lot of us that are successful. We're making the money. We have the home. We have the car. We have the kids. We have the house. We have the dog. We have the cat. We have the career, the side hustle. We have everything is there. But then, if you don't feel happy after all of that, the only thing that's missing is your hobby, is something that you do that only you understand is fun. Only you understand that is the thing that's going to bring you the joy, that the missing piece, all right? Because there's nothing wrong with having all those things, and that's the dream, whether you live in America like myself or you live anywhere. You just want to have everything at your expense. You want to have everything, as we call it here in the spiritual community, we call it abundance, where everything is in arm's reach. You want to have the spouse, you want to have your healthy family, you want your family to be healthy, you want your parents to be healthy, you want your grandparents to be healthy, you want your children, your grandchildren, you want the pet, the dog, the cat, the turtle, you want the vehicles, we want the Sunday car, you know what I mean? That's different from the going back and forth to work vehicle. We want all of this stuff, but then there's that moment where we also want that thing that only we understand is going to bring us happiness, and that's the missing piece. And the only person that can show you what the missing piece is the one you see when you look in the mirror, okay? And you have to really do the work and find that, because that is something that people find whether you have thousands and millions of dollars or you don't have thousands and millions of dollars, all right? Because there's people that are finding happiness every day by doing a hobby or doing, you know, your purpose or getting on your journey. All right, don't be afraid to make the decisions. Okay, look like it wants to rain, so it is what it is. But don't be afraid to make that decision. Make the decision. Don't wait for me to tell you to make the decision. Just make it. Okay, and you don't have to tell anybody how it feels. Just long as you feel good, as long as you like it. As Nipsey Hussle would say, as long as you like it, I love it. All right, I love y'all. I'll see y'all soon. Okay, go and be great. I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace and love. Namaste.